My wife keeps throwing divorce on my face over everything I do. I just said okay, and left. I am currently staying with my sister. My wife and I have been together for years, married for 4. We had known each other for years prior. We have 1 kid together, who is 4. I am the primary breadwinner in the house, as she is a yes. It was her choice not to go back to work for the last year and a half. We have been having arguments about 1 to 2 times a month. To be clear, I do help out with our daughter. I clean, cook, and am involved with both of them. The first time she said she wanted a divorce was when we got into an argument, when my sister called and asked if she could stay with us for a bit as she was having relationship problems. Ironic, I said she could. My wife was not happy about that. I pointed out that her friend stayed with us a couple of months prior for weeks and didn't do anything around the house, plus she was just there. No discussion, no nothing. She was a stranger to me and my daughter. My sister is lovely and has a great relationship with our daughter, and I thought my wife was as well. She ended up staying with us for a week, helping out around the house, cooking, cleaning, and watching out when needed. I thought we both forgave each other and moved on. The fights are usually over something small, percent are not started by me. I have suggested therapy and counseling, but she always said we never needed it. Well, I had it. Last night, she picked a fight, saying I was spending too much time at work and that she feels abandoned and that I'm not a good father. Ended her rant with I want a divorce. I stood up and told her that the only reason I work so much is because she can't stop spending my edit. At the time of the argument, I used our money typing it out. It came out as my money on accident. We agreed to split the money into bills, future savings, future daughter, and fun money on things we don't need or use. She refused to get a job or go to school to help her out. I provide for the family. For my daughter, I'm always at her important dates, functions, doctors' appointments, anything she needs. She refused to get help through therapy or counseling. I don't want this anymore. I'll have my lawyer send her the papers. When she writes it up, I got my daughter's things and left with her to my sister's. It has been days and she keeps calling and texting saying she is sorry. She didn't mean it. She wants to go to counseling and therapy. She needs me. She misses me, etc. I don't know what to do. I love her. She is a good mother, but I can't do this anymore. Internet strangers, please help. Yes, I have a lawyer for my family and work. I have known her since I was a teen. Update. Hello all. Unfortunately, this is not a sunshine and rainbows update I posted a few months back about how my wife kept throwing divorce in my face on a regular basis. That was until I did okay, got my daughter, and left. I needed to vent, so I posted here. Check profile for original to clarify some questions I have gotten. I'll refer to one of my comments on my August post. I want to point out some things that it seems was missed or looked over. I would do everything again if I had to, including taking my daughter. I have pushed her wife to go out, find a job, get a hobby, meet new friends, and do something, anything. Asked about seeing someone for help, she would not listen or consider anything I have presented. She kept saying no, or she was not the problem. My daughter is my priority. I don't fight with my wife in front of her or around her. I grew up in a bad household. I have been in the position where my dad got angry at my mom. My mom left and my dad took it out on me. I don't ever want that for her. I don't know what my wife was going to do that night. You can't force someone to get help. They have to want it, actually want it. If you force someone, they will go through the motions just to make it look like they changed. I'm not blameless in this, but I can't raise my daughter with her thinking this is okay behavior, or his is how relationships are supposed to be. Like I decided when I was young that I would never be like my dad, okay? So after I made my post, I had a bunch to think about. I decided that I had to make sure she knew how serious I was. We Saturday down, and I flat out told her that I couldn't do this anymore. The fighting and threatening of divorce has to stop. She agreed and said she would not say it. I told her that the next time it was thrown out, it would be the last time. We agreed to go to coos therapy. It was eye-opening thing where said feelings were brought up, and outside professional views helped us understand the other better. After a few sessions, I thought we were doing better. She started to apply herself more. She looked and obtained a job, made some friends, and got a hobby. That was until an argument started, because we had plans in regards to our daughter that she overlooked and couldn't cancel. The other plans she had made with some new coworkers. At what I considered the end of the argument, she said under her breath, "I knew marrying you was a mistake." I looked at her, and the thing I remember most is how I did not recognize the woman that was standing there. She looked different to my eyes. I didn't know who the woman was in front of me was. I asked her to repeat herself. She said, "I should have divorced you years ago." I walked away and took my daughter to the plans alone, just us two. I ended up filing for legal separation. Under the terms we both signed was something along the lines of, while separated, we are still legally married and will not get involved with anyone. During this time period, finances will be separated, but bills will stay as currently split. I would still pay for insurance through work, other things that were in it where therapy sessions would continue both as individuals and couples. I would move in with my sister, and we had shared custody of our daughter. Me her one day when I had my daughter, I needed my wife to take her. I let her know a week before, and she agreed. The morning of it, I went to drop her off at the house and noticed an unfamiliar car in the driveway. My first thought was she must have a girlfriend over. I go ring the doorbell out of respect, but still odd ringing your own doorbell and wait with my daughter when a shirtless man about opens the door and asks, "Who am I and what do I want?" I asked for my wife. He calls her, and she comes around the corner in a robe, and her fave goes from curious, shocked, horrified, sad, needless to say. In months' time, when the legal separation ends, I'm filing for a decree of dissolution of marriage. My daughter is safe. She doesn't understand what's going on, other than daddy and mommy are not happy with Echo. As stated above, she is my priority. I guess I did do the one thing I never wanted to do, the one thing I promised myself I would never become. But I guess it could be helped. I end up just like my parents. I don't know what a healthy relationship looks like. I hope I can just show how much love I have for my daughter and raise her the best I can. Thanks for the support, comments, love and criticism. Now on to the next story. 2. Am I wrong for insisting my sister story uphold her end of our custody agreement? So there's a lot of backstory here. My sister Lily F. had my niece Emma F. when she was at the time living with my parents along with her then boyfriend, and they had both just gotten out of rehab for heroin addiction. Both her and her boyfriend were not able to stay clean for long, and she was using throughout her pregnancy. When Emma was almost months, she came to me begging me to take Emma for months while she checked into rehab again to get clean. I was living in an efficiency apartment while putting myself through law school, but my parents insisted they couldn't care for an infant and had suggested foster care to my sister. So I took my niece, and when my sister got out of her rehab, she got back together with her BF, who was still taking drugs. And thus began years of a vicious cycle where one of them would get clean, only to be dragged back under by the other. I took legal guardianship Emma, although it was still supposed to be Temporary every time Lily would bring up taking her back. I would agree on the condition that they both passed a drug test, and it simply never happened. When Emma was almost years old, my sister came to me saying she was once again pregnant. This was the turning point for her, and she gave birth to my nephew, having been clean for almost months. Obviously it was very hard for both me and Emma, going from her living with me to moving back with her parents. We went to court and worked out a custody arrangement where I still have Emma every weekend, but she spends the week with her mom and dad. We attended family therapy all together for the first year, and once we settled on a routine, we stopped. Here comes the issue. My sister is once again pregnant, and she and her former BF, now husband, say that they don't want to allow Emma to come with me weekends because apparently she comes home to them acting like a brat. I absolutely understand the issue. I explained to my sister that when Emma is with me, she is the center of attention, and going from that to having to fight her brother for her mom's limited attention between bouts of morning sickness has to be hard. I offered to take my nephew weekends as well to give my sister some rest, or to possibly resume family therapy so Emma could work through these changes. My sister simply told me that Emma would be taking a break from spending time with me. I let her have 2 weekends with Emma, and then when she